I'm back. I just knocked my pop filter down. Stop moving. Okay. Back. Chris, I woke comfortably in the morning. You know what? I'm gonna stop and turn myself off of Skype before something bad happens. Not bad, but lots of messages. Okay, I'm back. I woke comfortably in the morning. Until yesterday, I had been afraid of admitting my feelings. Today, it somehow seemed brighter than usual outside. I wondered if the rain would be weak today. I stretched out on my bed and recalled the events of yesterday. Beyond my finally giving in, there was Fall's gentle smile.
Ah, ohayo! 今日はきちんと起きられたんだね。
Yeah, morning.
それに、なんだかすっきりしたような顔してる。
That might actually be true.
何かっこつけて言ってるんだか、自分のことでしょ？
Good point. Yeah, it's true.
あら、言い切っちゃうんだ。
Yeah.
そっか。
What?
あ、なんでもない。
Okay. Horny. What is going on?
なんでもない。
Horny repeated herself and smiled. What is up, Horny?
よかったじゃない。一日中暗い顔してるよりよっぽどね。
Did I ever look that depressed?
私が言うんだから間違いないよ。
I'm sorry. Don't really know why she's...
何
About what?
が？
Oh, never mind. That's her. About some things up until now, and the things to come. I never mentioned Arietta's name, but it seemed fully comprehended.
手紙に書いてあったこと忘れたの？
You should do as you wish. If this was my answer, she would probably say she was fine with it. I remember. Thanks for reminding me.
私にお礼を言っても何にもならないんだけどね。
Horny said cynically and pointed at the clock.
せっかく早く起きたんだから、ちょっとは早く学院に行ってもっと練習したら？
Hey, I'm not printing anything. Oh, okay, I thought I skipped something. Okay, I suppose I'll... Stop, I don't need a cartridge. I suppose I'll do just that.
あら、本当に行くんだ。
Okay, what just happened? I don't know what just happened. Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but Forney asked me, what, you're really going? And I said, what?
偉いって褒めてあげようと思ったの。
See, it had been a while since I'd exchanged adult chit-chat with Forney like this. I had a feeling today was going to be a good day. After quickly finishing my preparations and heading out, I noticed the rain had been reduced to a comfortable drizzle. Well, that's good. In line with my premonition this morning, my performance today had been excellent as well. Oh, I didn't even get to play. My fingers had ran smoothly across the keyboard, and every single note I'd played had been clear. My voice is not being clear right now. Time elapsed quickly like that, and before I knew it, it was already past noon. But...
ねえ、クリスさん。今日は調子が悪い？
Far looked at me with a puzzled look on her face. Huh? Was something off?
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだけど。
I didn't make any mistakes in particular. I didn't think it was that bad, actually.
うん。私もそう思う。
Huh? What?
あ、ごめん。じゃあ気のせいなのかもね。
I hope that's true.
うん。自分でもよく分かってないのに変なこと言ってごめんね。
No, that's okay. If you feel something sounds weird, don't hold back to tell me.
分かった。ならさ、今日私のバイトが終わった後にもう一度練習しない？
I know I just said you shouldn't hold back, but that's a bit.
ちょっと気にかかってね。特に
Oh, geez, we
あ
only
と
do
2
it
日しかないから。
Oh, sorry about that. My pop filter is going nuts. Keeps tipping over. At first I thought she was playing with me again, but she seemed to be pretty serious about it. I quickly corrected myself. If that's what you meant, then sure, any place is fine.
本当？
Of course. In return, will you make me a nice meal? That's kinda asking for a bit much there.
そんなのでいいなら。
It would be all I could ever wish for.
なんか少しキザだね。
Was it that weird?
うん。ちょっとね。
That's mean.
さっき変なところがあったら言ってって自分で言ったの忘れた
Oh,
の？
not again. Okay, I'm gonna fix this. Gotta fix this. Okay, I think I fixed it. There's a difference in meaning.
それもそうね。
Fall burst out laughing, which soon affected me as well. Never thought we would ever be able to have natural conversations like this. But it was nice. I was satisfied with the current situation. I'd left some people in sadness, but there was simply no way to make everyone happy. There was no such thing as an ideal route. There were only several good ones. I weighed those out and chose the one I felt would provide the best possible outcome. Or I tried to. Does that mean I messed up? Then let's meet in front of the trattoria when you get off work. I'd be mistaken for a customer if I entered.
そうだね。でも雨が強いようだったら中に入ってもいいよ。
Oops. Okay, then see you tonight.
行ってきます。
We made plans and exchanged our goodbyes at the crossroads between my house and the trattoria. After watching her disappear into the distance, I went home.
おかえり。今日は早い日だっけ？
It's Wednesday after all. I wiped the raindrops from my hair with the towel and went inside.
でもそれにしても少し早くない？
We're gonna practice again later today.
ファルのバイトが終わってからってこと？
Yep.
へえ、もう一日中一緒だね。
We don't have much time left after all.
それが終わったら
After that?
その生活は変わるの？
Well, of course it will change.
違う、そういう意味じゃない。
Then what did you mean?
ファルと一緒にいる時間は変わるの？
We can't avoid change, I suppose. I'm not sure how to put it. There won't be any need for practice after the recital.
それで二人の関係はおしまいってことは？
I don't know. I don't think so, at least.
うん、それが聞きたかったんだ。
Why's that?
どうしてもクリスには分からなくていいよ。
Whoa. Okay, if you put it like that, I'm only getting more curious.
それよりも少し休んだ方がいいんじゃない？
Rest?
軽く昼寝でもしたらってこと。まあ言われなくてもクリスなら昼寝しちゃうとは思うけど。
How rude. But, well, I've practiced a lot already, so some rest is definitely welcome.
ファルは働いてるのに。
Ugh.
うっそ。人はみんな違うんだから、クリスはクリスのペースで問題ないでしょ。
Well, thanks. I guess I'll go to bed then.
おやすみ。
You're gonna sleep in, man. Pretty unusual for you to tell me to go to sleep.
たまにはね、そういうのもいいでしょ。
By Forney's recommendation, I stripped off my clothes and lay down on my bed. Due to my continuous rehearsals lately, I felt considerably tired. I buried my face into my pillow and began feeling drowsy before long. I asked Forney to wake me up 30 minutes before the appointed time, then quickly lost consciousness.
よく寝てるね。幸せそうな顔しちゃって。
I had the feeling I heard a voice in the distance.
でもよかったね。一緒にいてくれる人が見つかって。これで安心して。
Forney?
あ、起きたの？
Did you say something just now?
何も。それよりそろそろ時間だよ。
That late already? Oh geez, 4 hours. I got up energetically to try and shake off the sleepiness and nearly knocked Forney, who had been standing beside my pillow, off her feet in the process. Ah, sorry. I quickly propped her back up with my hand.
もう急に起きないでよ。
Sorry, but what were you doing there?
クリスを起こすために決まってるでしょ。
Don't you normally call out to me from afar?
そういう日もあるの。
Well, whatever. Oops, the time.
まだ少し早いよ。
When are you supposed to wake me up? Could you do anything to me after all?
寝顔をちょっと見てただけだよ。
Why would you do something like that?
見たくなったから。いいじゃない。減るもんじゃないし。
Kinda creepy. Now, where did you learn a phrase like that?
はい、さっさと起きて用意する。
Yeah, I guess I should make her wait. I got ready as I was told, but when I was done, it was still a little too early to go out. I wanted to minimize my exposure to the rain, so I thought about how to kill some time. Not sleep. I looked out the window to check the status outside. The rain was still really weak. I figured the rain wouldn't be much of a hindrance, even if I arrived a little early.
ねえ、まだ時間あるけど、もう出るの？
Yeah, I am.
ならさ、ちょっとだけお願いしていい？
A favor, as long as it's within reasonable bounds. Want me to bring you along?
そんなんじゃないよ。ちょっとだけ肩に乗っけてくれる？
You sure you're not asking me to take you along?
違う。いいから早く。
Oh well. As told, I placed Forney on my shoulder. She supported herself by holding onto my ear and chuckled in a low voice. Now she's kissing my cheek. Hey, that tickles.
少しくらい我慢しなさい。
Why should I? This is pointless.
理由はあるよ。
Suddenly felt something touch my cheek. It was only for an instant, like a strand of hair that grazed my cheek in the wind. When I turned back to look, Forney had already flown down to the nearby desk and looked up at me.
じゃ、いってらっしゃい。
What did you just do?
内緒。
Secret. Oh, come on.
早くいってらっしゃいって。
Okay, I'll ask again when I come back.
じゃあね。
Oddball. I left behind the peculiar fairy and headed for the trattoria. It was still a bit early when I arrived in front of the culprit. The rain was still weak, so I posed no problems to wait outside. After a while, the door opened and fall came out.
お待たせ。中に入ってくれてもよかったのに。
There's no big deal waiting out here. I glanced up at the sky, confirming once more the frailty of the rain.
そっか。でもまあ、これ以上濡れても嫌だから行こうか。
No need to shop?
バイトの前に全部済ませておいたから。帰ってすぐに用意できるよ。お腹は空いてる？
Somewhat. I haven't had anything since noon.
よかった。私もお腹空いちゃったからすぐに用意するね。
I'm looking forward to it. Being able to eat truly delicious food with the person I wanted to eat it with most might have been what made me truly happy right now. It was probably a trivial thing to most, a kind of happiness some people would ridicule me for. But there must have been some people who felt the same way. All the while wishing the girl in front of me was one of those people, I spent time with her that I would surely treasure forever.
さて、お腹もいっぱいになったし、そろそろ練習しようか。
What time is it? Like 7? Or, yeah, 7:30? After dinner rest, we returned to our main objective. Well, I was still wondering about what Fall was so worried about. All I could do now was try to put up the best performance I could. She's worried about the recital, man. I set up the Fortelle I brought along and was all set to go. Ready when you are.
とりあえず今日と同じように合わせよう。全部私の気のせいかもしれないし。
I hope it is.
うん。じゃあ始めようか。
With that, we began our performance. Click. Okay, my fingers moved. My form wasn't bad. In fact, it was pretty good. And yet, even I felt there was something missing now. Something on an emotional level, too abstract to put into words. With that dominating my mind, are you kidding me? Go away. Oh, dang it. That dominating my mind, I could no longer focus properly. Fall stopped singing and glanced at me with worry in her eyes. I'm sorry.
やっぱり調子悪い？
Perhaps.
大丈夫？
Didn't know she was genuinely concerned about me, but her true anxieties must have been aimed at the recital the day after tomorrow. I think so.
それならいいけど。
I'm sorry for disappointing you at such a crucial time.
何もないなら大丈夫。大切なのは本番だけだから。
I could say nothing in return, so I just nodded. We continued rehearsing, and by the time I decided to go home, it was almost midnight. After making some plans to practice again tomorrow, we went to the front door.
じゃあまた明日。
Okay, things might change after a good night's sleep. See ya.
あ、待って。
What is it?
何かあった？
Nothing in particular.
本当に？
She gave me a questioning glance, her face closing in on mine in the process. I could feel her breath on my nose as she continued. How close are you two right now?
この前いろいろ話し合ったように、何かあったら言っていいんだからね。
Yeah, I know.
本当だよ。
I noticed my cheeks growing hot. That was because I suddenly recalled what happened in the practice room. I was sure she wouldn't push me away if I wrapped my arms around her now. Oh, did you? Having noticed the change in me, her face reddened and she took a few steps backward. I'm sorry. Is that okay? I did. Sounded more like a grunt. She made a face as though she'd suddenly realized something. Perhaps she just figured out the answer to the question herself. The mood became a little awkward after that. Neither of us felt like pursuing the subject further. Anyway, it's gotten pretty late, so I should leave.
あ、最後に一つだけ聞いていい？
Go ahead.
クリスさん、今幸せ？
Probably. As taken aback by the sudden question, so I answered only vaguely at first, but corrected myself afterward. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm happy right now.
So.
Fall averted. She wants me to be sad, so our performance is good. Fall averted her eyes and hung her head upon hearing my still slightly reserved answer. Only seconds later, she raised her head again with her usual smile projected on her face. In effect, I had no idea what kind of face she'd been making at that moment. Okay. My current level of fatigue could no longer be considered comfortable. I thoughtlessly dried my hair again with the towel by the door and dropped it onto my bed. Forney must have vanished already. There had been no words of welcome or goodnight from her. Oh, did she vanish permanently? Is that why? That would stink. When I woke up, my fatigue was gone. Yeah, it's almost 10, too. This was likely due to my nap yesterday, but I wondered how Fall was doing right now. However, I smiled wryly to myself, knowing that I was probably worrying for nothing. Then I glanced at the clock to confirm the time. 9:40. Since Forney hadn't woken me up yet, I thought I still had some time to spare. Forney? There was no reply. She did disappear on me. I idly wondered if fairies sometimes overslept as well, but I realized I didn't have the time for that. I quickly got myself ready and went out. I'm off. Now let's see if we're on time. If we book it, maybe. My preparations had only taken up 10 minutes, so there was no need for me to run. Not that I could take it easy either, but I would still make it if I walked at a moderately quick pace. Let's see if you do make it. Oh, you're late. You're late. By 1 minute. Good morning.
Ohayo, Chris-san.
Exchanging greetings, we begin our individual preparations. I set up the music sheets in front of me and sat down behind the Fortelle, all suddenly tensed up.
いよいよ明日だね。
Oh, yeah, you're right. Do you know the details?
キャンパスの掲示板に細かいことが書いてあったけど、気にすることはほとんどないよ。明日はフォルテール科の発表だけで一日が潰れるから。
I've never really thought about it until now, but the Fortelle recitals were on Friday, and the other departments had their recitals roughly in the week after that. Dora would probably be up sometime next week. There were almost 200 students in total in a single grade, but there were also departments that didn't have recitals, like the poetry department. Why wouldn't they have recitals? They, I would have thought they would have recitals. Just rehearsing, or not rehearsing, recanting their poem. Recant? Is that the word? I don't know. Saying their poems. Furthermore, Fortelle students were generally paired with vocalists, so in essence there were maybe 30 pairs per day. While I was allowed to pair with someone outside of the vocal department, it was hardly ever done, so those numbers were probably close. So when are we up?
クリスさんの名前は午後の部の初めに書いてあったから、時間は1時半からになるけど。
I see, so we're up first in the afternoon, huh?
調べてなかったの？
I was too focused on practice. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
もう、とにかく明日も練習室は空いてるから、今日と同じ時間に集まって軽く練習してから本番に臨みましょう。
Roger, so what do we do today?
納得のいくまで練習ってとこね。
Satisfied, huh? Just checking, but who's going to decide that?
二人ともに決まってるでしょ？
Roger that.
じゃあ始めましょう。
Oh, I'm playing. Am I? Yes. Okay, I'll cut this. Okay. Not bad. Almost 11,000. The performance ended, and before we could comment on each other, Fall casually asked,
まだ練習する？
I'm gonna stop. No. Nah, I think this is good enough. Apparently we had been so focused on our rehearsal that we hadn't kept track of the time. It would be detrimental to tomorrow's performance if I got myself exhausted now, so I decided to release my hands from the keyboard.
そうね。
The performance was at a tolerable level. All minor mistakes had been ironed out, and our rendering of the piece and tempo had been perfectly synchronized.
今日はここまでにしましょう。
Fall said tiredly. She must have been exhausted by now. Are you tired?
ちょっとだけね。大丈夫よ。
She said as she began cleaning up. Didn't want to keep her waiting, so I did the same. After we finished and were about to leave the room, I said, "Hey, shall I walk you home today?" I'm just a little worried, that's all.
心配？
Work and practice must be murder on your body. You sure you're all right?
ありがとう。そうね。でも、その前に私、寄らなくちゃいけないところがあるから。
Don't tell me you're taking requests again.
まさか。それより、今日は私の部屋に来ない？
Huh? Didn't you have to go somewhere else?
うん。その後で、少し話でもしたいなって思って。
Talk to me.
明日のこととか、これからのこととか。
You're right. I don't mind if you're okay with it.
じゃあ、これが部屋の鍵。上がって適当に待ってて。
What? Are you sure?
信頼してるから。でも、あんまりいろんなとこ見ないでね。
Got it. I thought I was going with her on her side trip. I accepted the key and parted with Fall in the hallway. She apparently had to go someplace on campus. I watched her leave, hoping it really wasn't another request, then left for her house. Sorry to intrude, I called out before stepping inside. It wasn't the first time I'd come here, but now that I was alone, it made me a bit nervous. To enter a girl's room on your own wasn't a chance you would often get in your life. I wondered what she wanted to talk to me about. About the future, she said. My heart began to race at the thought. I realized it was bad form to snoop around, but I couldn't stop my eyes from restlessly wandering about. There really isn't much stuff in this room. I had that impression before, but now that I was here alone, it became especially glaring. Didn't bother me as much as before with Fall in the room and with me being able to see her as she was cooking dinner. As I let my train of thoughts run like that, I aimlessly loitered around the room. I wasn't calm enough to be able to sit still in a chair for more than a few minutes. Oh, what's that? A bundle of sheets left in disorder on the top of the table entered my field of vision, right there. With my curiosity piqued, I decided to check it out, despite knowing I really shouldn't. Looks like some sort of notice. At that moment, I realized it wasn't Fall's handwriting. To be frank, the handwriting wasn't exactly pretty. Was she asked to correct this? More requests after all. Wondering if I couldn't help her with what she returned, I picked up the sheets of paper, curious as to their contents. I skimmed them a bit and concluded it must have been a paper of sorts analyzing some part of musical history I remembered having received as homework once. When I read a bit further, I noticed something odd. There were musical symbols written in pretty curves here and there on the pages, seemingly having been written by a different person altogether. And then I recalled having seen these symbols before not too long ago. Is this Fall's handwriting? The musical symbols and characters were exceedingly neat, yet everything else was sloppy as though it was written by someone else. Oh, that's her bad... Isn't that her bad handwriting she was talking about? I noticed another set of sheets on the desk and picked them up. There was nothing written on the first few pages, but the rest was closely packed with single words. Sort of like the worksheets I used to use when learning to read and write when I was little. The same words and phrases were repeated endlessly in clumsy handwriting. Could this be... really Fall's handwriting? Yeah, she said she had bad handwriting, didn't she? Come to think of it, when I helped her copy scores once, she did mention her handwriting wasn't very good. At the time, I could have only assumed she was joking. Had being an orphan really impacted her development to such an extent? On the very bottom page of the pack, the handwriting was almost painful to look at. The further you went up, the better it became. It had gotten to a level you still couldn't call good even as flattery, like the stuff I'd felt awkward about just now. This was undoubtedly something Fall had written. She's such a hard worker. She's gonna come in and bust you, man. Put that stuff away. Those were all the words I could think of. It certainly wasn't just talent that had made her so dependable and skillful. In fact, her starting line had been numerous skill levels below other people, but due to hard work, she'd been able to make it to where she was now. I returned the bundle of paper in its original state and sat down on a chair. I wondered how to express this emotion welling up within me. It might be a bit different from love, but all I could think of was whether or not there was something I could do for her. But what could I do? She had told me of her dreams of becoming a professional on that deserted stage, how she wanted to live by singing. There was something I could do right now. It was to stand on that stage together with her tomorrow and put up the best performance I'd ever given. That was all.
Tadaima. Kuri-san, iru?
Yep, I'm here. I answered in a small voice, which she might not have heard, as it seemed she only first noticed me when she came into the room.
Yokatta. Tadaima.
Welcome back, I said brightly and turned towards her.
お腹は空いた？何か作ろうか？
That's okay, you must be tired.
空いたかどうか聞いてるの。
I'm hungry.
よろしい。じゃあ、ちょっと待っててね。
As I watched her from behind, the room that had felt so bleak before suddenly regained its color. After a peaceful lunch, we had something warm to drink, while gossiping about nothing in particular. Fall had changed out of her uniform into something more casual. She had yet to touch on the matter she said she wanted to discuss with me. Right when I stopped caring either way, Fall looked over her shoulder at the clock on the wall. She let out a deep sigh, then languidly got on her feet. She walked up to the windowsill and gazed at the incessant downpour outside. Without looking back, she inquired,
ねえ、クリスさん。私のこと、
Oops. Perplexed at the sudden question, I had to search for an answer for a moment. I knew I could give her the answer she was hoping for.
ひどい人だと思ったことはある？
What? Huh? Before I could answer, Fall threw me another question. No, I've never thought of you as that.
本当に？
Really?
でもね、私は本当にひどいことばかりしているの。
What?
信じられない？
No, I don't believe you.
やっぱり。
With that, she finally averted her eyes from the scenery outside and faced me. What's wrong? Why ask me that all of a sudden?
なんでもない。ねえ、そっち行ってもいいかな？
Another unrelated question out of nowhere. She went to sit next to me without waiting for my response.
ねえ、クリスさん。
What? Her face came closer.
私のこと。
The crucial question finally came. I'd been expecting it to a certain extent. The answer to it was already engraved into my heart. All that remained was to put it into words. Yeah, I like you.
そう。ありがとう。
She closed her eyes. I knew what I had to do. It wasn't a first for me, but my extreme nervousness had made my lips dry. I licked them a few times and gently pressed my lips to hers. Didn't hear anything. Our contact lasted for but a fraction of a moment. Through a mixture of embarrassment and affection, I suddenly felt like embracing her. In fact, it was probably natural to do so right now, but the girl beat me to the punch.
もう一度。
As we sat embracing each other, my lips met hers again.
お邪魔します。
Oh, that was what I forgot his name. Asino. I had a feeling I could hear a voice in the distance. Asino.
なんだよ。
Yeah.
それ。
Huh? Fall released me and turned her gaze to the origin of the voice.
なんだよこれは。
Uh-oh.
ashinoさん。
What? I turned my head in the direction of Fall. In the direction Fall was looking and saw Asino standing there. I had no idea what he was saying or what he was doing here in the first place. It all went beyond my comprehension. All I could do was look in on blank amazement.
ここに来れば全てがわかるって。そういう意味だったのかよ。
What? Just what?
ごめんなさい。そういう意味だったの。
説明してくれよ。
説明も何も。私が好きなのはクリスさんなの。だからパートナーもあなたではなくクリスさんに頼んだのよ。
Now I feel bad for Asino.
言葉で言ってもよかったんだけど、この方がわかりやすいかと思って。
That is a cruel move. I now think you're somewhat cruel. Fall, what are you talking about? What was the meaning of this? My gaze jumped between the two of them, but neither ever looked in my direction. Look in my direction, please. Asino, what's the meaning of this?
うるさい。黙ってろ。
Oh, sorry.
大きな声を出すのはやめて。ごめんなさい。私はあなたを利用しただけなの。
利用？
あなたに近づいたのはクリスさんのことが知りたかっただけ。でもあなたには本当に感謝してるわ。
Next to me, Fall extended her arm and gently caressed my cheek. The coquettish gesture sent a shiver down my spine. I leaned away from the smiling girl and slowly removed her hand from my face. Fall?
どうしてクリスなんだ。みんなそうだ。先生もあんたも。
理由なんて人それぞれでしょ。
俺は
何？
貴族だぞ。それがクリスよりも劣ってるっていうのが。
そういう考えが嫌いだって言わなかったかしら。
だって俺だけは違うって。
何が違うの？ねえ、どこが違うって言えるの？クリスさん、聞いたでしょ？
Yeah, I'm just so confused right now.
貴族だかなんだか知らないけど、彼はあなたよりも劣ってないってそう言い張ってるの。
Just stop it. Please, someone explain to me what's going on. I beg of you.
違う、そんなことは言ってない。
あら、おかしなことを言うのね。さっき間違いなくそう言ったじゃない。
違う。なんでクリスなんだよ。
What's so wrong with Chris?
あなただって利用しようとしてただけじゃない。
What is with people
自分
using
でそう言っ
Chris?
ていたものね。
Using me?
違うんだ。俺たちは友人だった。いや、友人だ。だって
利用する価値があるから友達だって 私に言ったでしょ。
あれは
本心じゃなかった？車に構えてシニカルなふりをするくらいなら最初からそんなことしなければいいのに。
Fall is scaring me with all this laughter.
でも
そうすることでしか保てないような安っぽい自尊心しか持っていないからあなたはダメなのよ。
What is going on? Sino looked on like a child who just had his candy stolen. As he powerlessly reclined against the wall, he no longer spoke. Were these two acting out some kind of play? Would they start laughing if I cried out, telling me it had all been a joke? You too. This is some sort of joke, right?
ごめんなさいクリスさん。これは全部本当のことなのよ。
You're lying.
クリスさん、あなたの友達はこんなにもひどい人でした。
I don't know.
真実を知ることができて嬉しい。
What? How did he use me?
違う。俺はクリス。違うんだ。
Like I said, just explain this to me, please, Asino. I stood up and walked up to Asino. He trembled for an instant as he looked at my face.
そんなつもりじゃなかった。
What did you do? No, that's not what I meant. This is a joke, right? You two are just trying to fool me, right? No, they're not trying to fool you. Asino just shook his head. Why would he pull such an elaborate prank? Tell me, Fall.
だから冗談じゃないの。分かってクリスさん。これは全て真実なの。
Did Fall?
信じたくないでしょうけど、私はひどい人間で、アーシノさんもひどい人間だったって、それだけのことなの。
I have a feeling Asino said something to Torda that ruined it with Arietta or something. Fall said directly as though she were making idle chit-chat. Her tone was oddly gentle, which had been the opposite effect of creeping me out. And while it was difficult to swallow, it began to dawn on me that all of this was indeed real. Until just now, I would have never imagined I could ever feel this way about her. Only minutes ago, I kissed her, embraced her, and told her I liked her. But now I saw a completely different person in front of me. Does that mean you've been deceiving me all along?
そういうこと。
What the heck? And Asino.
そうね。利用させてもらったわ。とっても役に立ってくれたんだけど、どうも勘違いをしちゃったみたいなの。そのまま身を引いてくれればいいお友達になれたのにね。
What? Just shut up, Fall. Why do you say things like that? I don't understand.
さっき言ったじゃない。私はひどい人間だって。
You just keep saying the same thing over and over. Just when I was about to respond to that, I heard something slide against the wall behind me. Asino had gotten up on his feet, using the wall to support himself.
俺は帰るよ。
Wait, Asino, we're not done yet.
来るな。一人にしておいてくれ。頼むよ。悪かったから。
Sorry about what?
利用しようとしてたんだ。彼女の言う通りだよ。
I don't care about that. Weren't you being used as well?
よくないんだクリス。本当に悪かった。だから一人にさせてくれ。
Asino.
さっきの言葉少し嬉しかったよ。
Without a sound, Asino opened the door and went out. What's going on? My body would no longer move. My entire world had suddenly come crumbling down. I was left behind in the room. Even breathing had become painful as I was tormented by countless questions in my head. If I only turned around, I would find the answer to many of those questions, but I found myself unable to.
クリスさん
A gentle voice came forth behind me. Mustering the little strength I had left, I turned my body to face her.
突然ごめんねこんなことになっちゃって
Why would you do something like this?
彼の言った通りよ私はあなたに近づくために彼に近づいて利用したの
Why?
だってあなたが好きだったから
Liar.
これは本当よそのためにあなたのことを調べてここまでやってきたんじゃない
You investigated me. Why would you have to do that?
それしか方法が思いつかなかったから
You're lying. Then why would you expose yourself to me? Wouldn't it have been better to keep your mouth shut? Just what is this truth and what is a lie?
さっきから本当のことしか言ってないのに私はただ本当の私を知ってほしかっただけなの
That you're a cruel human being? Then why didn't you just tell me so? Why did you need to hurt Asino as well?
だって言ってたのに信じてくれなかったじゃない
Of course I did. After all, she was so diligent and gentle and eager and...
ほらねだからこうして分からせてあげる必要があったんじゃない
No, it wasn't. It wasn't necessary.
私にはあったのねえ私のことどう思う私は自分のことを知ってほしかったこんなにひどいことをする女だって
Do you want a prize? Why?
それでも好きだって言ってほしかったから
I wondered if those were true feelings. But even if they were, I wasn't sure I could still say I liked her. This was just so... This had all just been so ridiculous. In a corner of my mind, I still held onto the sliver of hope that this had all been a bad joke. It wasn't too late. She smiled at me and told it was all a joke now. Everything would still end peacefully. Can I ask you one more time?
どうぞ
This is some sort of joke, right?
これは真実よごめんなさい期待に添えない答え
Why is she so calm right now? Why me? You were lying when you told me you liked me, right?
で好きよクリスさんのこと
Why?
あなたのフォルテールの音あなたの音には他の人にはない魅力があるわそれは決して他の人間が真似したり誰かが代用したりできるものじゃない初めて聞いた時からあなたしかいないって思ったこの人となら上を目指せると思った
Are you kidding me?
私の夢のために
So in the end, you were just using me as well.
そうねそれも真実よ
She admitted casually and resumed her stream of words.
でも誰かが誰かを利用するなんて
No?
当たり前のことじゃない学院に通っているのだって私を見つけた人間が私を利用しようとしているからそれに乗っただけ私は学費が免除されこうして住むところも安く手に入れることができたそして歌を学ぶことができた代わりに私はこの世界で上へ登り続けるわそうすれば私を推薦したその人の地位だって上がるし両方が得でしょ
That's just wrong.
どこが
Everything is.
でも 私はそうして生きてきたし、これからもそうして生きていくつもり。
Then your way of handling it is wrong.
そうね、そう思うわ。
I'm just so puzzled right now. I'm regretting going down this path right now, Fall. So, anyways, I gotta stop it here if I wanna have a decent upload today, so thanks for watching. I really wish she'd kept this to herself, but I guess she wasn't thinking. I have no idea. Anyways, thanks for watching.